Thank you very much, Mike. At this time, I'd like to call order the Macomb County Board of Commissioners Committee on Public Services. Mike, please take the roll.
All right, we will start with Chair Brown.
Don Brown, voting remotely from Washington Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Thank you. And Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Commissioner Kleinfeld, voting remotely from Silver Bow County, Butte, Montana.
Committee Chair Farrington.
Commissioner Jeff Farrington, participating remotely from Utica, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Romano.
Commissioner Romano, District 4, Sterling Heights, present and participating remotely in Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Kraft.
Commissioner Phil Kraft, attending remotely from Chesterfield Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Haw.
Commissioner Haw, attending remotely, Roseville, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Wallace.
Commissioner Wallace, attending remotely from Mount Clemens, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Song.
Commissioner Song, attending remotely from Warren, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Commissioner Van Sickle, attending remotely from Sterling Heights, Michigan, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Zinner. Oh, Commissioner Zinner, if you could unmute, sorry.
I thought I did. Thank you. Commissioner Zinner, attending remotely from Harrison Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Matuzak. Commissioner Matuzak. All right, we'll come back.
She's on the phone, so do you have her muted by chance?
Commissioner Matuzak, you may have to hit *6 to unmute.
Unmuted?
Yes, you are.
All right. Commissioner Matuzak, participating remotely from Clinton Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Thank you, and thank you, Commissioner Farrington. Commissioner Sabatini.
Commissioner Joe Sabatini, attending virtually from Macomb Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
And last but not least, Commissioner Nard. Commissioner Nard. All right,
Commissioner Nard, attending remotely from Warren, Michigan, Macomb County, Michigan.
Perfect. Chair Farrington, that completes the roll.
Thank you very much. At this point, if we can do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to adopt the minutes from...
Romano will adopt the agenda.
Dated December 16th. Do I have support?
Second.
No,
Motion by Romano, support by Hall.
Jeff, we're adopting
Minutes from
the
December
agenda.
December 15th. I'm sorry, agenda. I said minutes. You're right. So the adoption of the agenda before us by Romano, supported by Hall. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to have the approval of the minutes dated December 16th. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve Zinner.
Wait.
Motion approved by Zinner, supported by...
Got to call the vote on the last agenda item.
Oh, thank you. A vote on the adoption of the agenda, please vote.
Commissioner Matuzak votes aye.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you very much, commissioners. This time I'd like to bring up a motion to approve the minutes from December 16th, 2021.
Motion. by Zinner.
Support, Haw.
And do I have support? Motion by Zinner, support by Haw.
Chair, this is Commissioner Sabatini. I think the date is incorrect on there.
Chair Farrington, this is Michael. Yes, thank you, Commissioner Sabatini. The date on the agenda is the 2021, but the minutes are dated 2020 in the attachment. So,
Thank you very much. So as amended, December 16, 2020. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes. Motion, Zinner.
Motion by Zinner, support by Haw. Thank you very much. Commissioners, please vote.
Commissioner Matusik votes yes.
and that motion passes 13-0.
Thank you for that catch, Commissioner Sabatini. This time, we'd like to open up the committee for public participation. This is the first opportunity for public participation for those who wish to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on the item. It is 3 minutes for which today's agenda. We have a second public participation opportunity later, during which comments can be made on issues other than what's on today's agenda. For those planning to speak during the public participation, please be advised, according to Rule 21 of the Adaptive Board Rules, personal attacks, coarse and derogatory language, and cursing will not be tolerated. Individuals using such language will be removed from the meeting. Also, those who call in by phone for public participation will be asked to speak first in an orderly fashion. Those who join virtually will be asked to type their name into the Google chat box. Those names will then be called in the order in which they are received. Staff, do we have anyone on the phone?
Chair, there appears to be no one on the phone, and no one has entered their name in the chat box to speak under public for this first opportunity.
Okay. One more opportunity. Anybody for public participation for those items on the agenda? Seeing no public participation, we'll move on to the next item. Item 6A, cost share agreement, Richardson Logistics Assets. Yeah, I believe we have John Abraham and John Crum available.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry. First, I'd like to make a motion to recommend to full board.
Moved by Kleinfeld.
Support from
Supported by
Kraft.
Romano.
Moved by Kleinfeld, support by Kraft. Thank you very much. John Abraham and John Crum, are you on the call today?
This is John Abraham.
Thank you very much, sir. The floor is yours for any comments you'd like to make.
Sure. This is a cost share agreement for a traffic signal. We had a previous one which was approved by the board, but we had to change it because of change in ownership of the Amazon site. So that's the only reason this is on here again.
Sounds good. Any questions from the commissioners? Seeing no speakers, I'd like to vote on this.
Commissioner Matusik votes yes.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you very much, Mike. We're on to 7B, cost share agreement, Sterling Heights for a box band traffic signs. At this point, we'd like a motion to recommend to the full board.
Van Sickle, so
Van Sickle makes the motion, supported by Haw. Again, John Abraham and John Crum are available. Any comments, gentlemen, you'd like to make? The floor is yours.
This is a similar cost share agreement, but this is for multiple signals where we are doing some improvements to the signals. We received some traffic safety grants from the state, and the remaining of the the amounts would be shared between the owners of the legs of the intersection, basically. So we do have Sterling Heights. All of these locations are in Sterling Heights. So it's a cost share to proceed our project.
If I understand correctly, thank you very much for that. If I understand correctly, Macomb County's portion is 331.
Yes, you're right, Chairman. Is 331 274. That's our portion.
Okay. Any questions from commissioners? All right, Mike, if you can put it up for a vote.
Commissioner Matuzik votes yes.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you very much, Mike. We'll move on to item 7C, cost share agreement with Sterling Heights for the back plates of a traffic signal. Again, we have John Abraham, Jen Crum from the Department of Roads. Joining us also Steve Adair, Deputy Finance Director. If anyone would like to make any of those three gentlemen make any comments on this. You're muted, John.
Commissioner Song, motion to move to full board.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Do I have support?
Support by Wallace.
Support.
So we have the motion made by Commissioner Song, supported by Commissioner Wallace. I appreciate that. John, you had some comments you wanted to make?
Yeah, this is very similar to the previous cost share agreement. Again, state grant. I mean, the federal funds through the state. We were awarded the grant, and the remaining portion is being shared as per this cost share agreement. And the county share for this one would be $4,154.
Commissioner Van Sickle, you have a question?
Yeah, I was just curious. It's entitled box spans.
Okay.
What is that? Briefly.
So Commissioner Van Sickle, basically, traffic signals traditionally over the older signals have traffic signals which are strung diagonally across the intersection with signal heads on it. So what happens is that with left turns allowed, people making the left turn kind of find themselves right under a traffic signal head, not being able to see the traffic signal head. So to improve visibility, what we do is to kind of make it a box span so that as you're stopped at the stop bar, all the signals would be at the far end, far side of the intersection, not a diagonal, but like a box. So you'll have traffic signals on all the four sides of the box, so to say, that boxes the intersection, which is proven to have much more visibility, much better visibility, and proven to be a safety project. So we applied for funds through the state for federal funds, and we were able to secure those. And so that's I don't know if I've explained that well enough, but if you have questions, I'd be willing to answer any others.
That's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Song, you have a question?
Yes, thank you, Chair. How do you determine the cost sharing for this project and other ones too?
So the cost shares normally is based on the number of legs each intersection and the ownership of the legs. For example, if a state road intersects, say, a county road, 2 legs would be the counties, 2 legs would be the states. It'll be a 50-50%. So for example, if there is 1 leg which is Sterling Heights and 1 leg which is the state and 2 legs which is county, then Sterling Heights will have 25%, state would have 25%, and we would have 50%. So it's based on who owns that roadway, the jurisdiction.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Chair.
No problem.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Commissioner Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, John. How are you?
Good, good.
Quick question. The grants, did we apply for the grants or did the local municipalities apply for the grants?
We applied for the grants ourselves, yes.
Okay. And then with these signals, I remember years ago, there was a like federal initiative to kind of, I guess, sphere line all kinds of, traffic signals and kind of get them all, I'll say, in sync. Is this kind of part of that plan still?
So this is kind of a little different kind of project. This is a safety project, but we have the flexibility here in Macomb County that every traffic signal within Macomb County is operated by the county. So we operate the whole 700 some traffic signals as one system. So that is what you're referring to from what you may have heard in the past. This is more of a safety project, which is just to physically change the configuration of the traffic signal, the location of the traffic signal heads, so that it is more visible. It's more of a safety project.
Okay, and then in regards to the signals themselves, I know I guess signals are all kind of on different scenarios, with blinking yellows and can you not go and traffic moving. Is that still the initiative with the county that we're operating them based on traffic, based on the actual cameras visualizing the traffic and accordingly allowing the traffic to go through the intersections?
Yes, in most cases it is like that. So we do have sensors in the which are kind of recording who is waiting in what approach of the intersection. Based on that, green lights are given. But traditionally, the approach was to count the number of vehicles, look at historical counts, and find out. For example, Metro Parkway is the timings are set in such a way that Metro Parkway has the major movement, so they are kind of programmed to progress traffic in platoons through the corridor.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Commissioner Matusik. If I can, I'm at a disadvantage not being able to see who's in line to speak.
Tell you what, we have one more, and then I'll call on you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Chair Brown.
Thank you. John, this is a safety project. How many of the intersections do we intend to do? We've got 700 and so intersections. What made you decide to do this one as opposed to something else? And how many of those are we going to? There seems to be an endless pot of money for these traffic modifications. Every year there's money coming in for something at the intersections. So why this one? And is it the plan to do them all again? And what about the money we just spent upgrading the last ones?
Sure. So, Commissioner Brown, the way these things work is that when we apply for the grants, we have to go through an application process that looks at traffic crash history for 3 to 5 years. And we have to put all this together and send it up to the state. The State Department of Transportation looks at applications from all over the state and awards money based on the ranking that the ranked list itself. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 locations that we submitted as a part of this project, and we were able to get this grant. It was a competitive kind of a process where we were lucky that we were able to get the federal grants to do these projects. So it'll be 8 intersections totally.
So it's based on crash data. So it's based on empirical data. It's not subjective data.
It is not subjective, no. And it's competing with projects from all over the state. So it is a competitive process and we have been lucky in the past many years that we receive our share of safety funds every year.
Yeah, the whole lighting system and the traffic lighting and the timing is quite remarkable. Actually, I think we're cutting edge in a lot of ways on a lot of kinds throughout the state, and it's not the region probably. So we've done a good work with it. So I appreciate it. But always different, always new technology you're bringing into the area, and it's good that you're doing that. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chair Brown. Commissioner Matusik.
Well, Chair Brown sort of asked the question I was going to ask, which is how do intersections that are going to be upgraded get chosen? And so I think that's been answered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent questions, anyone? Seeing no additional speakers, at this point, Mike, if you can put it up for a vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Commissioner Matusik has made it home and is now in front of her computer.
Excellent. I'm just glad you made it safe. At this point, I'd like to bring up item 7D, a resolution 2021-5954 in support of Macomb County's application for a grant from the Transportation Economic Development Fund Category A program. At this point, I'd like to receive a motion to recommend to the full board.
Moved by Kleinfeld.
Motion by Kleinfeld.
Supported by Matusik.
Supported by Matusik. Again, we have John Abraham, John Crum. Gentlemen.
I'll take this one. John Abraham will be off on this one. This is a Transportation Economic Development Fund resolution that's required for these grants. This grant is specifically for manufacturing facilities and bringing them in and the improvements of the road. We have been working in collaboration with the Planning and Economic Development Department, who retains and adds jobs to the county when they can. This particular industry is called Avances, which is a company that makes parts for GM. It's about $50 million building construction, 72 jobs retained, and 241 jobs that are created by this. It's down on DeQuinder. It's in, if you're familiar with that area, it's in the old Hazel Park racetrack area that's being redeveloped. And then in concert with that, on the other side in Warren, there's a logistics company, large logistics company that's a trucking company that's going in, where there used to be an old golf driving range. The improvements that will happen down in DeQuinder between Stevens and 10 Mile will be widening the road from 4 to 5 lanes, a whole entire new surface on the road, curb, drainage, and restoration. And the Transportation Economic Development Fund will pay for 50%, and the company will pay for 50%. So there's no cost to the road department, and we're going to get a mile of road done, which is roughly about $3.2 million worth of work.
Thank you very much, John. My understanding is we need the resolution so you can apply for the grant, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and in the surface, is that just the Band-Aid asphalt surface, or are you doing other work on it?
It'll include the widening, so it'll include some brand new asphalt, and then complete asphalt over the entire road once the concrete is fixed that's existing down there. It's about 7 to 10 year fix. It's mid-range fix.
We have a couple of speakers. Commissioner Song.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, John.
Hi.
Will the project affect the walkability of the area, or will that be considered during the building? And will the traffic be slowed down, or will the speed stay the same?
The traffic will, during construction, will be shifted from one lane to the other lane, so there'll be a detour route. I imagine that's how we'll go about reconstructing this part of the road. The local communities require sidewalks when these developers come in, and so there'll be sidewalk. So there's an ability to walk in this area, and then once the job is complete, then speed limit is looked at by the state of Michigan police. We don't do that.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, John.
Hi.
Just in regards to these grants, do we have just a designated person that primarily applies for all the grants for the Department of Roads, or is that divvied upon staff? How is that done?
The primary grant writer is myself. The only ones that I can think of is the ones that were presented by John Abraham. Traffic. I don't do traffic grants because my background is not in traffic.
Okay. I was just curious because I know in the past there was thoughts of, creating full-time positions for individuals that would be applying for grants all the time, but I don't know where that transpired or what happened. So I was just kind of curious if you guys were handling it still in your department and how that was being done. So thank you. Thank you,
It's
Chair.
all things that I do.
Commissioner Matuzik.
Hi, Mr. Crum. Can you talk to me a little bit about the intersection between economic development and roads? Like, how do we figure out which of these projects we're going to apply for grants for, or we want to pursue? I get the roads part and its safety and the rest of it, and I get the economic part, but you're sort of at an interesting intersection, and I'm interested in how this works.
Thank you for the question. The way it works is, generally speaking, the Planning and Economic Development Department are looking for companies to come and reside in Macomb County. When they achieve that, and if it's in the manufacturing area, and there's retention of jobs or creation of jobs, we can then apply for these road improvement dollars. We're allocated each year a certain amount of money from the state, a certain amount of money from federal. This is above and beyond. So this will allow us to do a mile of road that we would not be able to do because we're applying for this grant. And then it will also allow this company to be able to work at their maximum level of distribution.
And how do we pick which companies we're going to support in this way?
Generally speaking, we coordinate with the planning department, and most manufacturing companies that come in, we will offer this up. We really don't decide. We pretty much submit these, and if there's a chance of getting the money, which in this case, the state has said there's a fairly good chance that this project will get money, then we receive the funds. So it's every manufacturing company that comes in that's been talked to by the Planning and Economic Development Department.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And actually, I have a good follow-up question. It's funny you say that, Commissioner Matuzik, because when Chair Brown asked me to chair this committee, he goes, Chair Economic Development, your business background. And then I found out roads were the primary focus of this committee. So, but Commissioner Matuzik brings up a good question, John. When this money comes in from the state, does it come from PA 51 money or does it come from MEDC money?
This is actually road dollars that the state receives that they can allocate for economic development across the whole entire state. So we're competing against the whole entire state for these dollars.
Okay. So it's not part of the allotment for the counties or locals. It's part of that 10% that's shoveled off to the side on the roads.
It's not in our yearly allocation. No, it's above and beyond.
Okay. Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, Mike, if you can put this up for a vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John and John, for coming in, commissioners. Thank you. At this point, these are out of order. I'd like to open it up for new business with the commissioners. Anybody with new business? Once, twice? Okay, seeing no new business. We're back to public participation. This is the second public participation. It's for all those who wish to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any issue, even if it's not on today's agenda. For those planning to speak during public participation, please be advised, according to Rule 21 of the adopted board rules, personal attacks, coarse and derogatory language and cursing will not be tolerated. Individuals using such language will be removed from the meeting. Also, those who call in by phone or public participation will be asked to speak first in an orderly fashion. Those who join virtually will be asked to type their name into the Google chat box. Those names will then be called in the order in which they are received. Give it a moment here, and staff, if you can tell me if anyone's on the phone lines.
Chair, there's no one on the phone lines, and there appears to be no one who wishes to speak, as there are no names in the chat box.
I'll give it one more moment. Those wishing for public participation? Seeing none, the public participation is closed. This time I'd like to hear a motion for adjournment.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
So moved by Commissioner Kraft, seconded by?
Zinner.
Second by Zinner. That concludes the meeting of the Board of Commissioners for today. Thank you, Commissioners. I do appreciate the participation.
Have a good afternoon, everyone. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Good job, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.